So Marvel Comics is about ready to launch Heroes Reborn, another event, by the way. They're just finishing up The King in Black, and then they're going to shoot right into Heroes Reborn. With Marvel, it's event after event after event. This is going to be some kind of event where history has changed, and all of the heroes are a little bit different and mixed up. Not really that crazy or bad of an idea. I actually kind of like it when events like this happen, but the problem is Marvel just isn't really that good anymore. And I think a lot of people are just fatigued with these events because you can never just read the main event, which will probably be like 5 or 6 issues. You've got to read all the spin-offs, and it always overtakes. Like if you're reading Amazing Spider-Man, the event creeps into Amazing Spider-Man. So your book stops and it gets taken over by an event. It's very, very annoying, and I think people are tired of it. People have been tired of it for a long time, and I do believe that some of the declining sales for Marvel and DC and so on is because of all these events. Another thing Marvel does is they like to put tons of variant covers out there, and they end up being worthless. How it works is, so Marvel makes a bunch of variant covers, and how comic book shops kind of save money and make a little bit of money on all of these comics that just rot away is Marvel will give them, a 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 50, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000. And it's a special book that has very low numbers, right? 1 in 1,000. So you order 1,000 of these books, and you get this 1 in 1,000 that you can then take and sell on eBay or in the secondhand market for whatever, for a lot of money, and you kind of make your money back. The problem is, a lot of these times, like, it's just, you do it so much, and there's so many of these floating around, unless they're really special, they don't hold their value very long. And so now Marvel, apparently, like, no one's ordering this. A couple of different comic book vendors are saying, they've got more covers than we've got orders for Heroes Reborn #1. And that's pretty interesting. So a couple of places, Big Bang Comics, which I believe is out of Ireland, says Marvel has more covers for Heroes Reborn #1 than we have orders for the entire thing. This is going to be interesting. Saying that they don't really have very many orders for it, no real interest. And that's not surprising. Heroes Reborn is actually an event that happened in the early 90s, and it was terrible. Not a good event. It's not very fondly remembered. The biggest memory people have of Heroes Reborn is that it stinks. But anyway, Big Bang Comics says this, and then some more people come in. By the way, this is their most ordered cover, they say. This is obviously a tribute to Wonder Woman. I don't know who this is supposed to be. Like, they're redoing a lot of the heroes for Heroes Reborn, and Blade is the only one that remembers what's going on. Got Strange Adventures here, comes and says, agreed, way more covers for #1 than we have orders for it. And it continues on. Another one comes in, it says, same's here. This is Double Midnight Comics and Games Curbside. So 3 out of, 2,000 comic book shops, yeah, not very many, but it is telling to me. Like, I think people are just tired of it. People are event fatigued. And people are tired of the variant game, and sales just really aren't that great. And, Marvel really, really depends on social media and a lot of these websites. Like, okay, so a really good example of this would be what they did with Peterson when they had the Red Skull, like, kind of be a parody of him. And what did that do? It got all of the media sites writing about it. I covered this in a video, but real quick, basically every site's like, yeah, so awesome. This is so cool, man. And I think sales went up for this issue, but they're not going to carry over because this book was selling like garbage before all of this hit. So people will pick it up, see it sucks, and they'll stop. This doesn't help. And this is a marketing tactic that Marvel has been trying to use for years now, and it just doesn't work. You can get these headlines, you can get these clicks, but it doesn't ever translate into sales. And it's just hilarious that they had to stoop to such a low like this when they had the biggest cultural event literally in decades with those Marvel MCU movies. Literally, like the most popular movies for a generation, and it never translated to comic book sales. And instead, they're doing petty shit like this. Meanwhile, you got manga sales dominating still. You know, they don't need to stoop to low levels and do tricks with variant covers to get people to look at their shit. No, people just do it. And you see this time after time, especially walk into a bookstore, go to your Barnes and Nobles and just look at the difference between what they have in Western comics and what they have in manga. And you will see the difference, because it's literally like 4 or 5 shelves of manga books and like one just cluttered mess of a shelf for the Western books. This is coming out of Bleeding Fool. Said combined sales of print and digital manga surged beyond 600 billion yen. That's $5.5 billion if you're curious. In 2020, for the first time since records began in 1978. The 23% year-on-year increase to 612 billion yen surpassed the previous sales peak of 586 billion yen set in 1995. The Institute attributed the growth to the stay-at-home lifestyle during the coup and the huge success of Demon Slayer. The digital comic book market grew by 31.9% to 342 billion yen, up 82.7 billion yen from the previous year, and topped 270.6 billion yen in combined sales of print comics and manga magazines. Still, the print comic market turned upward for the first time in 19 years. It's pretty impressive. And the big thing here is a lot of people, you know, you have print being dead here, but you know, with this stuff, it's thriving. Or let me take that back. Digital comics don't sell that well for the Western stuff, but this market actually grows in. It's amazing. So what's even funnier is like these American artists will celebrate this. Yeah, manga's kicking ass, man. That means our books are gonna sell. No, it don't work like that, Chief. Anyway, just some interesting stuff here I want to go over with you guys, showing that like Marvel's stooping to all these lows and all these tricks to make money, right? When they could just tell good stories, have good art, kind of try to maybe figure out how to crack that manga audience correctly, which would honestly be telling good stories. But they don't want to do that. You know, instead they want to play political games and play tricks with comic book shops so they can make some money, and it's incredibly sad. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.